Welcome to this technical lecture. Today, we will explore the internal architecture of a Bay Control Unit, or BCU, and understand how it works inside a modern electrical substation. Let's begin. A Bay Control Unit is nothing but a specialized intelligent electronic device, an IED. We use it in electrical substations to monitor and control different equipment like circuit breakers, disconnectors, and transformers. Think of it as the local brain for one section, or bay, of the substation. The BCU acts as an interface between the substation's hardwired equipment and the HMI, the human-machine interface, in the control room. It receives current and voltage signals, transduced analog signals, and open/close contact status from the equipment. It processes these signals and sends them using the IEC 61850 communication standard, the universal language of modern substations. At the same time, the BCU receives control commands from the local or remote HMI, also via IEC 61850, and converts them into physical operations of the equipment like opening a breaker or closing a disconnector. Now, let's break down the BCU's internal architecture into its core functional modules. We will look at 6 main parts: the processing unit, memory, inputs, binary I/O, communication interface, and power supply. First is the central processing unit, the brain of the BCU. This processor executes all control logic, operation sequences, interlocking checks, and communication protocols. Modern BCUs use 32-bit or even 64-bit processors. Some units use dual-core processors for better redundancy. And more sophisticated BCUs employ industrial-grade Intel Atom CPUs running at 1.6 GHz or higher. Next, memory. For real-time data buffering and operating system functions, BCUs typically use 512 MB of RAM. For long-term storage, like firmware, the operating system, application logic, and historical event logs, modern BCUs use a 512 MB solid-state disk. Non-volatile memory, or ROM, stores critical data that must not be lost during a power cycle, such as configuration files, fault records, and counters. Finally, a real-time clock, or RTC, provides precise timestamping for all events and faults. This clock is often synchronized via GPS or SNTP to ensure system-wide consistency. Now let's talk about inputs, how the BCU sees what is happening in the substation. First, the analog input module interfaces with voltage transformers, VTs, and current transformers, CTs. The BCU accepts secondary currents and voltages directly from these transformers and then uses 16-bit high-frequency analog-to-digital converters, ADCs, to sample the incoming signals digitally. In addition, the BCU also includes DC analog inputs, for example, 4 to 20 mA or 0 to 10 volt signals. These monitor external transducers like temperature sensors, pressure gauges, or battery voltage. The binary input/output module handles discrete on-off signals. This is the physical interface for controlling switchgear and sensing equipment status. Binary inputs, or BIs, are high-voltage isolated channels, up to 124 of them. They read the status of circuit breakers, open or closed, disconnectors, earth switches, and alarms. Essentially, the BCU receives potential-free contact status from different equipment. Binary outputs, or BOs, up to 38 channels, send open or close commands to circuit breakers and disconnectors. When the BCU decides to operate a breaker, it energizes a relay through a binary output. The communication interface module is what makes the BCU a true network hub. It uses multiple protocols and ports to talk to station-level devices, other bays, and the process level. Let's break this down. Station bus. This is the primary link to the local HMI and to the SCADA master. Protocols supported include IEC 61850, MMS, IEC 60870-5-103, DNP 3.0, and Modbus. Physically, it uses 10/100 base TX copper Ethernet or 100 base FX optical fiber ports. Process bus. Here we have two key technologies. First, GOOSE, Generic Object-Oriented Substation Event. GOOSE enables high-speed peer-to-peer communication, for example, tripping a remote breaker in less than 4 milliseconds. It supports IEC 61850-8-1. Second, Sampled Values or SV, which receives digitized current and voltage data from merging units following IEC 61850-9-2. Redundancy protocols. To ensure zero downtime, BCUs support redundancy standards like PRP, Parallel Redundancy Protocol, and HSR, High Availability Seamless Redundancy. Serial ports. Finally, RS485 ports are provided for legacy device integration or for GPS clock synchronization. Last but not least, the power supply module. The BCU operates on the substation's DC system, typically 220 volts DC. This ensures reliable operation even if the main AC supply fails. So, to summarize, a BCU is a powerful, intelligent device that sits between the physical substation equipment and the control room. It processes analog and binary inputs, runs protection and interlocking logic, communicates using modern protocols like IEC 61850, and drives outputs to operate breakers and disconnectors. Understanding the internal architecture of a BCU is essential for anyone working in substation automation or protection. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more lectures on substation automation.